Okay, so hello everyone. Now we are going to see here the very important topic of Flask, that is methods. So here you can see there are some around 5 methods in Flask which are used for various purpose. So we require here the first two method, that is get and post. So I will be just talking about every method in just short. So if I'm talking about the get method, as the name is telling you, this method might be used for retrieving the data from the server. Because the Flask is used for what? It's just an intermediate in between your web page to be connected with your ML model. That is our purpose. Actually, there are some more applications as well for Flask. It's a web server gateway interface, and that too a lightweight. So I will just write here like this is what this is just used to request data from server. Means whatever the data we are creating here or whatever the information we have stored into some HTML file or into different route, so those routes data or those HTML files data can be retrieved by using get method. Next we have post method. So post method is opposite to get. It's just used to send, I would say, the data to the server, like this, opposite to get. Then put we have, so put is used to update the existing data, update the existing data on server. So if you want to update something, you can go for even put. Then we have next one is patch. So patch is used for some partial updates. Like if I want to update my data partially, so I can go for this patch method used for partial updates on data. Okay, and next we have delete. So if you want to delete your data from the server, then you can go for delete. So I would just writing use to delete data from server. So these are the purpose of all these methods, but again I'm telling you, we just require here this first two methods. So we'll be just going to see the examples of these first two methods like get and post. So I would like to tell you here one important thing, that is like as ever or however, like we have seen here some of examples in previous videos. So all those methods were supposed to have a get. Get is by default method into your Flask. Like with every code, your get method is present. So if I am just telling here like this is the ones I would say route I have, and I am telling like I have this method with the get type, so you can just mention here the method type is get. Still it will not make any difference if you will still, let's say, run this and you will try to see the output. You can see you will get the same output like the previous, whichever you are getting. So same output you will get because it's a by default method. So no need to think about get separately. What you are doing with the get, you have something with this index.html here, and that text you want to retrieve. So how will you retrieve? By just passing here methods equals to get into list. Okay, why we have passed into here list? Because you can allow multiple methods at a time. Okay, so this is just the get method, I would say. Then next we have now a post method. So for post method, what you can do is I will just simply make here one more route. I will say app dot route. Let's say it's redirecting to some different route. I would say now submit is that function, and here methods equals to, I will just write as post. Remember, it should be into capitals. That method name should be into capitals. Then you are declaring one function. The function name is, let's say, submit. You can write any name. And here this method is going to do what? Here you can just see I have written something for post. Post is used to send some data to server. So you need to first define some data or some variable which will store that data. So I will say I have something as here name. Okay, and I'm requesting here that data. So I will write here request dot form dot get. Okay, so these are actually the prerequisite or some prerequisite methods that we require here, like form.get, and it belongs to request. So you need to import again request from the Flask. Request from the Flask. You can see like we were getting initially error here, but if I will just write here name equals to request.form.get, you can see now the error is removed. And why we are writing form.get? Because we are going to create form into HTML, and from into that form we are expecting data to be retrieved. That's why we have written .get method. So these are predefined method. I have not defined it from my end. Okay, so I am just passing their name. Okay, and what this function will return? It will, let's say, return something message. Let's say it will be something like thank you. This is submit na, so you will say thank you for submitting the information. So thank you. After that you can pass your name, so that name I will simply pass here. Okay, the same name I am passing through this f string. So this is all for this post. Then I need to make changes into my HTML file, so I will just go here and I will just make few changes. So this was my header, uh, my head. This is the body of my HTML, so I will just write here, let's say, enter your data. Enter your data, not this one, just a data, like this. This is the heading I have, and parallel to this I'm expecting something into text box. So I will just write here name equal to name, because we are going to store our value into name. Okay, here you can see we have just stored that into name variable. Okay, that's why I'm just taking the name as input. Okay, the next thing that we require here, this is just a text box. What I'm expecting, I'm just expecting now that input should be taken by some text box, and as I will submit that input, this second route should be called. I will tell you the working as well. As of now, just let me create here one more button. So this is input type equals to submit. So this is the type of button, and value on that button is what? It's a submit. Okay, that's it. So this is just for I would say your form. So I need to take this into my form, so I will just write here uh, let's say form. Here into form action equals to, I would write the same path which was there into this. So this is submit, so I will write here submit. And next thing that I need is the method. So as I will click on this, the method should be called as post. So you can simply pass here post, and after doing all this you should close your form. Okay, like this here. So this is it. Let me just save, and we will try to run this again. Run. So you can see like we are getting this prompt enter data. So how it's working now, we will see the working here. So if I'm just clicking or I'm redirecting to my first default route, that is what? This render template index.html. And what is there into index.html? We have this header, that is enter your data. So yes, we got this. The next is what here? Next is this form which is redirecting to submit, and method is post. So as we are redirecting here, so you can see this route will be called and this function will be called. So here in this function, as you will pass some input into name, it will be stored by this one, that is request.form.get. It will be stored into name variable. And if you will click here on submit, so this submit function should be called. So what will happen? You will get this message. So we will just try to pass here something. Let's say I will just pass here Abhi. and I will click on submit. So you can see we are getting this message like, thank you Abhi for submitting the information. So we have posted our data on our web server. So this is how the things are happening with a post method. So I hope you are clear with this. So that's all for this video. Like in next video we will see actual project implementation. So thank you everyone.